Hey, welcome to the September 25th trade review. I haven't done one of these in a while, and so I thought it'd be a good idea to go over the trades that I took today and see what I did right and what I did wrong. So here we go.
Eva Trades.
This is a look at my progress overall, and I noted this morning that I had this, whoops, let me see here if I can. Hmm. I don't know what's going on with my drawing tool, but it's not it's not working. Okay. Well, I guess I won't use my drawing tool then. But I noticed that I had this equilibrium right here, yeah, on my profit and loss chart. Each green candle here is 1 day of profit. Each red candle is 1 day where I took a loss. So I made this move up to my all-time highs, and then I pulled back, and then I had a lower high and basically a double bottom. This is a tightening range. It's an equilibrium. And I'm like, okay, well, it looks like it's time for me to have a breakout trading day. And sure enough, today I made $511. And so now I've broken out over my all time highs on my way up to $42,000 for phase four. So we'll take a look here at the trades just real quick. I traded four tickers today, four stocks, and CLF here. Now, all the arrows on the chart are the places where I jumped in and jumped out. The green arrows are where I got in, and the red arrows are where I got out. And here I have the 1 minute time frame and the 5 minute, 15 minute, and hourly. And there's my profit for this ticker. So this one here, um, on this one dropped back to the volume weighted average price first thing. So I jumped in it and then I sold it up into here. So that was some nice profit right away. And then I was trying to buy some breakouts right here to as we were, looking to break over the high, and we did break over the high. I didn't sell it right away, and then it came back and I got stopped out down here. And so I went red. I think I went red on the stock at that point, and then I let it consolidate. And as it started to come back up to this level right here, I bought it on this little pullback on this next candle and sold it as we broke over the resistance. And then I tried to buy it here for the breakout for the move higher. My timing was wrong, and I ended up getting stopped out down here. And but then as it started to break, I'm like, okay, so I jumped in it looking for the break over this high right here. We came up to that high. We didn't quite break it, and then as we started pulling back, I just took myself out of that for about break even. I let it consolidate some more, and then it started to break. So then I jumped in it, but then it didn't hold up and it started to pull back. It looks to me like here I did add to it on this pullback. That's a little risky, and then I sold everything up here. So I probably should have got out of that right away when this candle couldn't close above that resistance, but I held it, it looks like. So that's a little risky. And then again, I bought another breakout here, sold it for basically break even on these two here. And then it pulls back to the EMA. And as it starts to make a move back up, I jump back in it. I sell it here and here. And then I let it consolidate. And my trade of the day on this one, well, right, I knew it was coming back to the volume weighted average price. And so I jumped in it here a little early, sold it up here for some profit. I added back here, but sold there break even. Traded it in here looking for that move up, but wasn't getting it. And then I waited for it to drop down to the volume weighted average price. I jumped in it twice there. I sold half right here. And I was going to hold the rest and let it make a bigger move, but I ended up selling the other half here instead of waiting for that bigger move. Then it consolidated and started to break out again. So I bought it here as we were trading above the EMAs and sold it real quick up here. And that actually got me up to 500 on the day. That was my last trade of the day. So that was CLF. And then I traded GWH. This was one that I was watching on the gap scan first thing in the morning. It was an equilibrium on the 15-minute time frame, and I had said that we need to get over this level in order for me to be interested in trading it. We got over that level, and so I bought it here on this pullback as we back tested that level. And I didn't make any money on it because I didn't hold it because it was light on the volume for a cheap stock like this. It says 78,000 shares on a 1 minute candle is really light. It wasn't moving very fast, so I ended up getting out of it. Didn't make any money on it. Tried to trade it here thinking, well, the volume's coming in now, maybe. Got back out, break even. Bought it here on the breakout. We pulled back 1 minute, higher low and higher high as we pull back to the EMA. So I bought it here, sold it for some small profit, and then it was really showing some strength. The volume was starting to come in, so I jumped in it here, sold it up into here and here, made money on it that time. And then we consolidated and we were forming an equilibrium right here, and we started to break out. So I bought this next candle as it pulled back, but then it pulled back too far, so I got back out of it, and then it turned around and went back up without me. That's a bummer. I took a loss on that. And then I bought it again for the breakthrough through 168 as we were showing some strength on some high volume, but it couldn't hold up and it pulled back and I took the loss right here. So I was green on the stock and I started giving back my profits. Had a small win right here, jumped in it here for the next move up, but it just wasn't doing it. And so I took a loss there too. Ended up being down 42.76 on that stock, and then it just kind of sold off after that. So that was disappointing on that one. And the volume was, like I said, light. This one was having a hard time getting any kind of traction, even though it did make a nice move here. So then JOBY, that's another one that I was watching first thing in the morning. I believe I was watching this. My gosh, the next one we're going to look at, it just got halted again. Pretty incredible. So this one, oh yeah, that's right. On this one here, we had another equilibrium here on the 5 minute time frame, and I was looking for the break through the high, and we got it, but my timing was off first thing in the morning because it took a little longer than I thought it would to get going. So we open up right here, and it's a green candle moving up above the volume weighted average price. So that to me seemed like a good area to get in, and so that's what I did. I jumped in it twice. But then, much like the last stock we looked at, it was just kind of sitting there, not doing a lot. Volume was sort of light, and then it started to drop, and I'm like, well, I don't want to hold this if it's going to fail, so I just got out of it. And then, of course, it turned around and made a move back up without me, but I jumped in it right here, so not completely without me. As it started to show that strength, I jumped back in it because we came back above the volume weighted average price. And then I sold it up into here. That was nice. So that got me back to green. Initially, I was down $100 on it. But come to think of it, I was down $100 to start my day. So I need to go back over here and put in negative 100. And that puts a lower wick on my candle there. It looks a little more realistic that way too. Okay, so yeah, so that was my first trade of the day, and I was down 100, but then I got back in, and then I was up like $40 on the stock. And then I bought this little pullback looking for the move higher, but this next candle came down, and I stopped out there. I let it consolidate, inside bar bull break, so I bought that for the break. I bought this little pullback to the EMA, sold up into here, and then I bought, actively traded in here as we were pulling back and moving up. Then and then we pulled back here, and as we started to break out again, I bought back in. Looks like, just really actively trading this one. I ended up taking some losses on it though, especially right in here. Tried to buy this as an equilibrium setup, but then it failed. That's where I took my big losses. So I only ended up being up $16.28. This one here, I tried to buy off the volume weighted average price, but it dropped below, so I got back out break even, and that was my last trade on that one. And then here in this area, you can see we were consolidating. This was an equilibrium. We were tightening up, so I kept trying to buy this. anticipating a breakout, but it just kept on failing. You know, we'd have this nice big green candle up. I'd buy the pullback, but then it would drop too low, so I'd have to take myself out of the trade. It did it again here, nice big green candle. I bought the pullback right in here. It just didn't hold up. So, and that's where you have to have the presence of mind to say, okay, if the trade's not working, then I need to get out. And a good thing, you know, had I held this, I would be deep in the red right now. So you don't want to hold. I mean, you know, trade your strategy. If holding's what you do, that's fine. But for me, if it doesn't work the way I think it should, I just get out. And sometimes the stock will turn around and go up without me, and that's fine. I know that happens. So then the fourth stock I traded, this one here was my biggest winner on the day, up $454 on this one. And I wasn't watching this pre-market because it wasn't on my radar, but I saw it on the Hive Day Momentum Scanner. No, actually, I saw it on the Halt Scanner as it got halted right, you know, right here. And I saw that and I'm like, well, you know, cheaper stock. I'm not sure I'm too interested in it. But I kept an eye on it, and then as it resumed much higher and pulled back, I bought it on the pullback a couple of times and sold up here. So that was my first profit on the stock, and I don't believe I had a losing trade on this one. So then it makes a move up, it comes back, consolidates down to the EMA, and starts to break out again right here. We had this nice green candle moving up, so I bought the little pullback, and as it broke over the high of that last candle, I sold it. And that's a move that I'll typically choose. It doesn't always work like you saw back here on this stock where I was doing that. I don't remember where that was at now, whichever stock it was. Anyways, yeah, where you'll get a nice green candle moving up, and then I'll buy the next candle on that little pullback and look for a break over the previous candle. And so this was basically almost a break-even trade. I didn't hold it long enough because I wasn't sure I trusted it. Whoops. Hey, here we go. So then, you know, so then it starts to break out, and I'm looking up towards this resistance up here. So I get in it there. Next candle opens up. It starts to make a move. I just sell it. I don't wait for the resistance because I'm anticipating a possible equilibrium on this one. And that's what we ended up getting. You can see that here. I don't know why my drawing tool isn't working. That's weird. Oh well. I guess I won't use the drawing tool. So yeah, so then it ended up pulling back. I let it consolidate, and as it started to break out here, this equilibrium breakout, I jumped in it, sold it right up below this resistance. Now that was a really nice trade. We broke over the resistance, we came back, we back tested this trough area, and you'll hear me talk about troughs. We came right down to the penny, boom, back tested it. I jumped in it right there, sold it real quick. I wasn't sure, you know, I thought maybe we might be rejecting from that resistance. Didn't know if we were going to hold up, but then we did. And then I bought this breakout here for the break over this resistance and sold it up into there. And then I bought it here as it was looking strong. I was looking for a move up to $2. I was going to sell it real quick. Well, the second I got into it, it got halted right there. And so then I'm in a halt right at the top of this candle. Yeah, you know, a little risky there, but you know, because it could open lower. But it halted for 10 minutes, and then I believe it was a 10-minute halt. And then it resumes up here all the way up at 223. So I was in it at 195. It resumes at 223. That was a pretty good chunk of money that I made on that one. And I wish I would have held it because it halted again and resumed way up here. And this thing made an incredible move today. And now anybody, and I said this as I was ending the live stream, I'm like, be careful on this one because eventually it's going to halt going down. And so anybody that got in up here is now underwater as we're halted on the way down. But yeah, pretty incredible momentum on RAEZ. That was totally not expected. Overall, not a bad day. I tried to trade a lot of breakouts. The stock market was really slow this morning. There wasn't anything on the gap scan that looked good, but I did put some stocks up to watch anyways, ended up trading them, but not very well because they're not the type of stocks I usually trade. They would break out and then fail. Yeah, that's my trade review. So I hope that your trading day was good too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here at EVA Trades. Bye bye.